Well, good morning. Time has just turned 9:35 and we're here at the Lin of Dee car park. Well, not the car park, we're here at the Lin of Dee. And today's challenge lies right ahead of me. Don't know if the camera's able to pick that up. Carn, one of the snowy peaks over there. I might have completely screwed that up there. Weather for the most part just now was very fair, and I thought it would be a little bit clearer today than what it is just now, but it might yet get a little bit clearer as the days goes on. A couple of reasons why I picked this one today is because it's Carn is about 22-kilometre hike from the car park, so it's not too bad, and just still kind of recovering from this classic winter lurgy, so a nice mainly flat route from the Lin of Dee and out and back where there's not as much elevation going to the ledge, you know, something which is quite welcomed as well. And the Cairngorms for me is just my favourite of them all, and haven't been out in absolutely what's felt like ages anyway, and to kind of get back up and running this year for my first Munro of 2025, and my favourite place is just going to be, I think it's just going to be the best way to get things started off. Carn just looks absolutely spectacular, just standing so high. Can't wait to get to the top there. Summit's clear just now, as you can see, and I thought it would have been a lot clearer today than what it actually is. It looks a lot better over to the west actually, which is very strange, but yeah, today's target, Carn right there, hopefully I pointed the right one, is looking pretty damn amazing, and I'm praying that I get some good views today because I know what the views are meant to be like up there, and I love the Cairngorms so much. I'm just really hoping that works out today. The summit of Carn is getting duller and duller, and yeah, the dullness has come over this way a little bit, but might still get some views, but it's not going to be anywhere near as clear as I thought it would be when I first came out today. Looks really grey and messy. It looks very atmospheric actually, the way it just stands so loud and proud into the clouds. But having said that, there's a little bit of blue sky as I nearly fall on my backside. It's bright over this direction and kind of straight up ahead, so I don't know, I've just learned that setting yourself low expectations for views on Munro days is probably the best thing, because it means if you don't get any views, then you're not raging and surprised at anything at all. That's just me being so pessimistic though. I'm gonna be hopeful. There's a grand old Derry Lodge. Ever coming down a hike or a cycle down the Lin of Dee, you're always destined to see this huge building, which is obviously not in use anymore. So it's shortly after this where down here where all the paths go in all sorts of different directions, and got so many different options at this bit, but obviously there's only one way where you're going if you've got a particular hike planned, because they all go in different directions. Now this is a bit where you can go off in different directions. That way takes you out to Ben Vian, Ben Vrac and Ben Ahurn. That's well, typically you wouldn't do Ben Vian with Ben Ahurn and Ben Vrac because of the sheer size of it, but I did. For some stupid reason it ended up being a 40-kilometre day, and it killed me for days and days after it. But yeah, it's starting to brighten up just ever so slightly. Our target is standing loud and proud, nice and high, as I've said before. Over this bridge here, and this way you can start to head out over that way towards Cairngorms, and we're heading up to there. I think the summit's just behind that. Yeah, thank God there's a bridge that exists here, otherwise you wouldn't stand a chance at all to get over. But yeah, many different paths here, as you can see. If you were to take the path over that way, then you could do a circuit. It does come back around this way, but we are going down this way. Onwards and upwards. Let's do it. It wasn't actually in my fullest intentions to be doing this walk so early on in the year, because I actually wanted to save this hike with Nevis because of how flat it is, and you know, most of the Cairngorms you can do with a dog anyway because they're so flat, plateaued, and there's no scrambling involved, or very minimal scrambling. I mean, it's a hike that I wanted to do for a very, very long time. I've been eyeing this one up for ages, just because I love the Cairngorms so much, but I wanted to save it ideally to a point where Nevis could actually start going out hiking and Munroing with me. But he's still too young. As I say, I needed this one today because there's a lot of, as you'll be able to see, just going through that beautiful 4x4 path. It's flat and there's not as much elevation today. Today's hike is basically just straight up Carn and back down, and this will probably stay pretty much flat for another 2 or 2.5, 3 kilometres, I reckon. But yeah, as you can see, the path's changed. It's nice and crispy and hard underfoot, so where it would normally be incredibly boggy, it's hard, and this is just fantastic. Absolutely brilliant conditions to be walking in, because this bit is quite notorious just with it being by the River Dee. It's very, very wet, very stodgy underfoot. So I guess for once in that way the weather gods have worked in my way. But there's not a breath of wind as well. This is brilliant. I remember coming out this way as well to tackle Ben McDowie. It takes me back to my very first week. The first week I had at properly Munro bagging. And yeah, it reminds me of that first week when it was all new to me. And that's why I love the Cairngorms and the Lin of Dee, because it just takes me back to that really special, exciting place where this was all just starting. And it pretty much, I'm still at a point where it feels like it just has all started. Anyway, let's crack on. It's so deceptive because from back here, you look at the mountain and it doesn't look too bad of a climb, but see when you're at the foot of it and you look up it, it's just totally different. So we've not actually got too far until we get there, because covered about 6k just now. I think just about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes into the walk, and of course it's been all flat, and I think there's another 5k to get to the top, but of course that's going to take a lot longer because we're going uphill. So yeah, it's very, so far been very manageable. We're going into, I remember this area, I've been down here once before, going into the trees, and it gets quite enclosed, which is something I'm not so much of a fan of, with woodland areas, but I like it being nice and open. But we'll be getting through that, walking past the valley which I went up for Ben McDowie, and moving into pastures now. Absolutely superb. I'm definitely much more heavy-legged and tight-chested today as I normally are. Just feel, even just that tiny little bit of climb there, that wasn't even a climb, it was just a small uphill. My legs just feel a lot heavier than they usually do. So yeah, it's going to be a bit more of a struggle today, I think. That's just me getting my excuses over and done with nice and early. Yeah, right, time to check the nav, see where we go. Huge Munros of Monad Moran, Ben Brotan out ahead there. They're huge Munros there. Into the 1100s, well up there. Carn of Aim that we're doing today, summit's gone now, but it's 1030 I think, so a fair bit lower. But those ones are, those snowy hills are part of a humongous plateau in that area. You get amazing views of where we are just now from up there and all the Cairngorm big boys. But yeah, that'll be a huge day out, that's for sure. That is the path there that I turned off to work through that valley up there down the side of Carn of Aim to get to Ben Macdui. Instead, we are going. I actually ended up going down on that day when I went down that way. I actually came down this path for a little bit, went the wrong way, and thankfully all trails that you know, when it buzzes you if you go off trail. So I think I walked down here for like 2 or 3 minutes and then it buzzed me, so I had to double back, jump back on that path there. So yeah, from this point onwards, or maybe 2 minutes from this point onwards, it's going to be pastures now. You can actually see the path. You won't be able to see now because of the trees, but from back there you can see it kind of snaking up the side of this hill. So it doesn't look like it's going to be too long. So yes, I'm going to be bringing the poles out. The poles are going to be getting brought out today as soon as we start going uphill. So it won't be long until that happens. Options. The sticks are out. It's moving quite fast, just for all snow. But I think we're going to come down this bit, go along there, I think. My feet will get wet. Well, my boots will get wet, but my feet will be careful because the rock is rather slippy. There's a little bit of ice on that rock as well. So we just need to get over it. And just try all these different foot placements as well. So your hands are all in place. Let the foot push there off the water. Keep going in the water. And then over this. It's clear. I thought there was a bridge that we cross over from near here. Maybe it's just a little bit further on. Don't know if you make it out, but there's the bridge somewhere down there that would have been easier than the river crossing. I might return back down that way, but yeah, this is where it's really starting to get uphill a little bit now. There's that beautiful valley I walked through, dust and the snow. I've got crampons, I've got snow spikes in the bag in case I need them. It doesn't actually look too bad on the summit of Cairngorms with how much snow there is, but you know, better over prepared for the mountains, that's for sure. So this is where we turn off now. It's all up from here, straight up to Cairngorms. The summit's just over that first bump there. That way just takes you out towards Munro. This is smashing this. It's actually not been as bad weather-wise as what it looked a little bit menacing earlier on. I'm going to stop, change the battery, might have a few Jaffa cakes, and then we'll start heading up. One last look over to the east to Lin of Dee. Definitely looks a lot brighter over southwest way, just the way we're heading, all the way up, way up and past that big bump there. Lin of Dee looks absolutely humongous from here. A lot of snow on it. Right, time to go. Nice sighting of Benbrotan. I think that's Benbrotan anyway. Nice easy path so far, but it's going to get a little bit steeper as we head on a little bit further up. Just turn my back to the path and you can now actually see, don't know if I can point in the right direction, but you can see the Cairngorms. You can see the ugly summit. That is the Cairngorms. Yeah, nice trail, nice path. I think for this Munro, it's a hike. There isn't climbing involved with it. I think there's a bit of a false perception of climbing Munros or bagging Munros. There's a lot of climbing involved, like physical climbing. Whilst like a lot of them have got scrambling, there's more than their fair share of Munros that are just like this. It's just a rolling like staircase up to the top of the hill. So it's quite a good one to showcase off actually, for that reason. A lot of the Munros are not as, don't get me wrong, you never say Munros are easy. You could easily catch it out weather wise or just in terms of difficulty getting to the summit. I'm definitely feeling not as fit today, and I'm just taking a little bit slower. Chestiness isn't too bad, but my legs are just like, fucking hell, it's like I'm carrying 50kg dumbbells strapped around my legs. But still good to get out regardless. That's why I picked this route. Let's crack on. Very, very grateful for these footsteps in the snow. Gives me one less thing to navigate and try to figure out where the path is. Thank you, whoever you are. The Beneglow range now, which stands just at Blair Athol actually. So much duller over that way. and there's blue skies over here. It's bright again over there. So it looks like I'm going to get some hopefully decent views across to the west. To the east is just going to be, shall we say, atmospheric. Totally does look atmospheric. Beneglow Range looks awesome in the snow. And there's not a breath of wind. Not very often this happens. Glenshee Munro's looking very atmospheric and just stunning with that low cloud hanging over them. There's the Beneglow Range and back again. Right into the heart of the Cairngorms. Heading over that pointy peak there is not a Munro, I believe. That's Carn, I think. But then we've got Derry Cairngorm. We get actually a look at some of the tors that are on Benaboord, Benan. Over there, that's the day I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, to think that I'm doing something in life, like I'm able to rattle off all these mountains basically, obviously with help with a little bit of the maps as well. Like, I didn't think I'd ever be doing that. If you asked me about two and a half years ago that I'd be able to like be in this random place just past Braemar in the heart of the Cairngorm Mountains and be able to tell you what each of these peaks are, you would have thought you would have been on one, honestly. It's funny how life can change so quickly sometimes. Don't know why I'm getting very deep and meaningful here. It's unlike me. Let's just crack on. We're now at 900 metres of height, still another just over 100 to go. It looks like the path, it goes up this way, sweeps around the ridge and then up towards that cairn up there. Don't think that's the cairn. I think the summit's a little bit further up. So, but to be fair, with the snow, you could probably just pick a point and go for it, because it's just rocks anyway, you'll be able to just walk over them. But I'm going to stick to where the path should normally be and then just pick little points now and again, just see what looks best to walk towards. But as you can see, unless if I'm missing something, the path's just totally gone in the snow. So I think I'm just going to head up in this direction up there and then swoop round up towards the top. We're up there. I found the path. As long as you get from A to B, doesn't matter how you get there. Even if it's via XYZ, as long as you get to destination, that's the main thing. Look at this. The best bit about it, it's going to look even better when we're at the top. That's Cairn, fourth highest mountain in Britain. Just tucked behind in there, just kind of to the right hand side of it, Bray, third highest, and the Devil's Point. That's looking absolutely phenomenal. Unbelievable. What a place. What a place. unbelievable. Look at the giants. This is unreal, this place. Devil's Point right there. Cairn, all the way in the back there. Sick, amazing. Which you can get to from here along the bridge. Cairngorms, it's just amazing up here. Absolutely amazing. This thing that runs all the way down here, this valley, and yeah, it's absolutely humongous. It is huge. I don't think any GoPro or camera will just capture how huge it is. Yes. Right, so as you can see behind me, I think I come up at just about the right time. So I'm not going to hang about up here for too long. Yeah. It's so bloody high. It's just at the rock. Just right there. And it's so close as well. Just pew! Oh, it's massive. I'm going to grab a couple of quick photos. So yeah, definitely one of the most amazing features up here, probably in all of Scotland, is the Larrigrew. It's just this big humongous valley where you've got 3rd, 4th and 5th highest peaks Britain over this side, and you've got Ben Macdooey 2nd highest on that side, and it's just this absolutely massive, there's a path that runs right through it, and the other side of that is Abbey Moor basically. It's the Cairngorm Mountain Ski Resort, and it's pretty amazing just to think that. I just wish I could stay up here for much longer. It's just unbelievable, but as you can see, yeah, it's rolling in. I don't think it's going to come to anything too bad. I think it's just going to be no views, but yeah, I can't muck about up here for too long. It's going to get really cold really quickly as well. So it's a shame that I've got to turn my back on this so quickly. I had this wonderful plan to have lunch up here looking at the Larrigrew, but nah, it's just not worth it. As you can see, it's starting to roll in over me here. But what I will say, absolutely amazing timing. Absolutely brilliant. I don't think I could have timed it any better. So yeah, I'm gonna crack on and get myself back down low again. For just now as well, I'm gonna keep my navigation out just to the side and keep an eye on that, just to make sure I'm not venturing off on all these different paths. You can kind of see, like, just ahead, there's a snowy path up ahead. That's basically what I'm aiming for, but yeah, just want to make sure that if the clag does come in, I know exactly where I am, where I'm going. But yeah, I'm gutted that I can't stay up here for much longer. I probably could stay up for a little bit longer, because I don't think it's going to come to anything menacing, but you just can't take that chance when you're up at 1,000-metre peak in Scotland. This Cairngorm mountain range is notorious and so known for having its disasters and people's lives being taken with challenging conditions, so you can't take that for granted. You can't forget that when you're out in these areas, but you always feel in control, and you just always kind of assess your situations and see how you're feeling as well, how your equipment's coping, and the tools to get you back to the car safely. And we're just not very, very comfortable. I'm gonna get the head down. Let's crack on. The Devil's Point is starting to disappear just see how quickly it can change. Must have been about half an hour or so when I was back down here, and it was such a clear summit, and it is still clear, so I'll get some views, but looking over Cairn way, not going to get trapped in anything. It's just low cloud coming in, probably a little bit colder. Look, here's another person. Well, you know what they say, you never get an arsehole hill walker. And honestly, I can't believe how well I timed that. The views and the clags just come right in. Like, I think that's the first time that's ever happened to me that I can remember, where I've had views at the top, but then I'm trying to not let my poles batter off each other. So it's the first time I've ever had where I've had views at the top and then come back down and then the clags just come in. I guarantee you won't get views up there. That poor lad's not going to get anything up there. So yeah, I can't believe how well I've timed that. And even just around you as well, you can't really see much. The Benaglow range as well, and heading up to Carn back and the Glen Shee Hills, you just can't see them anymore. It's just like night and day. But I tell you what, that sunshine over Glen Tilt, it looks pretty amazing. There's the path down ahead. All systems go. You can just get a see from, yeah, because that makes sense, Ben. You can get a sight of the path back that obviously I came up from and what I'm going back down. And it looks long, it's long. I think I was about 8 or 9, about 9 kilometres to the foot of Carn there. So it is a long walk in, and that's why obviously a lot of people opt to take the bike, because it's a really, really good path to pedal on, probably up until either the foot of this mountain or the Derry Lodge as well. But you can get a look at it there, and it's a long way to hike. That at the top, that Carn top was absolutely amazing. What a view you got right down over to Brayreach and Cairngorms and Larry Grew. It was just fantastic, and I'm gutted that I didn't stay there for any longer, or I couldn't stay there for any longer. If I did stay there, I would have been fine. I just would have gotten clouded over. I probably would have gotten really cold. It would have been freezing fog that surrounded me. So I'm glad I came back down when I did. But I've got some amazing photos to look over. But yeah, that was a fantastic peak. All I'll say is, whoever invented feet, thank you. Those footprints coming down that snowy bit were a godsend. I probably would have been on my arse if I would have certainly had to put on the snow spikes, even for just that one section, because the snow is just so hard. It's been great, but coming down there on the hard snow would have been so difficult if it weren't for the footprints. Thankfully, I think that's the last of the snow. I could probably put my sticks away now. I'm keeping them out for a little bit longer just in case. But we're back onto the staircase, so should be much simpler from here. I've just come back down off the main mountain now and back on the main path, take us back to Lin of Dee car park. But think I'm going to get past this river crossing first of all and then stop there for a bit. Still a fair bit of descent to actually get down to this river, so I'm going to keep my legs moving for just now. From that point it's just head down and keep motoring for that 7 kilometres or so to the car. So sorry, I keep going about this part, but that path which just goes along there right into the valley and then goes up this shoulder just up there, that's where I went to do Ben McDooey. And there's actually a beautiful loch that just sits in round there. I keep on referring back to it because it was just such a special day. It just brings back such memories. It was my first like huge day. I was 30 kilometres that day, and I learnt a lot about hiking because that was like the first hike that I did when I went across to Cairngorms and on the ascent to Ben McDooey, where I had to really like navigate boulders and rocks. And I was like, you know, not all Munro bagging is all like lovely beautiful trails like this one here. I think down this way takes you to that bridge. Screw it, we're going to do the waterfall again, the water crossing. But yeah, it was just an amazing day. I just look back over it now. That was, God, how long ago? That was 1.5 years ago when I did that, and it just feels so strange saying that because this is still such a new journey for me. But I just look back up there and thinking that this is unbelievable. I did get some views from Ben McDooey as well. It's not very often that happens with it being so high. So yeah, that definitely, I'm pretty sure that path takes you down to the bridge, which is easier across, but it's going to be fun going over a river again. Cuts the distance down a little bit, so that must be an extra, what, I don't know, kilometre or so to do the bridge as well, which might be worth it for some, but I'm feeling dangerous. We're going to go back over there, but I just love seeing that. Just that valley and that trail. It's just happy memories. Just same as so many things that I've done with Munro Bag in so many places. Loch na Gar just brings back happy memories from the early days. Okay, so I think this is the route. I can't remember if it was that one or this one that I did last time, but I'm going to go for this one because it looks a little bit better. I'm actually going to turn the camera down a little bit so you can just see a little bit more what's going on with the feet, because I'm pretty sure I ballsed that up last time. So that rock is slippery. It'll get a little bit wet. The boat will get wet anyway. So that, there we go. One. I don't think that's, I think that was a different one. That was actually easier. It was more wet. My left foot is much more wet. Oh, my left foot's a little bit more wet than what the right foot got in that last one, but that was a much easier path to take there. So yeah, let's crack on. Sometimes it's good just to look back and see where you've been, where you've come from. Something like Cairngorms clear now. That poor soul would have been in that little time window where there was no views. It's clear now. Yeah, it's pretty amazing when you look back. When you turn around and look where you came from. You just cover all that distance, all that height. It's always very pleasurable to think about that. It's very satisfying, and it just gives you that more of a sense of an achievement from, you know, just you've not just climbed the Munro, but you've got that actual visual aid and that visual just thing to go by to put more into perspective what you've done. It's pretty awesome. I see a rock and my arse has got his name written all over it. I'm going to stop here for a little bit. Let's have about 7 kilometres to get back to the car. Yeah, what a special mountain that is. And to think that that can just take you on to Ben McDooey as well, just further on, it's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Right. Try my best to, there we go. That's what I wanted to do. Right. You know what I think one of the funniest things is about Carn just up there, and perhaps any other Munro, is the fact that, you know, you look up to the mountain, falling over. You look up to that mountain and you think, you know, the views must be pretty special up there, you know. Over down into this valley, into this glen as well, looking over to Braemar. Funnily enough, that wasn't actually the case because it was so dull and gloomy over here, but you get my point, you know, like the views will be amazing over there. But I've done it again, need to stop walking. But you don't actually see, like, when you look at Carn from here, you get absolutely no indication that there's Braeria, Cairn all over the back there. I think it's just so amazing because it just catches it out just like that, and it's huge. Like the best part of the views is over the other side, looking over more towards the west. So I just think it's just amazing how, like, you look at the views, it's like, I wonder what it's like up there. You know, it's going to be pretty amazing down here, but you get absolutely no, like, there's nothing to suggest to you that there's any other mountains over the other side. But you get up there and it just opens up. It's just amazing. And that goes for the same for lots of other Munros as well. Like, it's not until you actually get up there and you get the 360 views, that's when you actually can see just how amazing the views are when you are up there. And you get the feeling that it's going to be amazing up there, but it's not until you're actually up there when you realise that how good it actually is and how it can actually just take you aback as well. If you were just maybe starting off your journey and doing Carn was one of your first ones, don't really know the Cairngorms that well, like, that'll catch you off guard. Like, it'd be pleasantly surprising. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it's just amazing. Like, it's just amazing how just the landscape and being out here, it's pretty damn special. But anyway, as you can see, I'm on a move again. I've fueled up. That's going to be me good until the car. I'm going to have the rest of my Jaffa cakes on the go, and yeah, there isn't really going to be much going on now. I am going to keep recording and time lapsing, but it's pretty much going to be the same track. It is going to be the same track, actually, not pretty much. It is going to be the same track all the way back to the car that you've seen already, but just with a different view, not as special because I'm not looking into the heart of the Cairngorms. So we're going to crack on. There's Derry Lodge just over there again, so probably about 6 kilometres back to get back to the car now, maybe just underneath it. Maybe another hour and a half of walking or so to be done. So we're getting there. Feeling quite good actually. I thought my legs would have been a lot heavier at this point, especially knowing that there's a long trek back to the car for about 5 kilometres. Not the worst to walk in, but it's Lin of Dee. Like, it's renowned for the long flat paths. But yeah, feeling good. I'm just glad that best thing, just getting out again. First Munro done for 2025. It's gonna be a big year. Got Munros to do with the dog. Want to get to 100. And it's going to be great to capture those moments on the run up to it. the last big look at Carn. That's not quite Derry Cairngorm, but it's more up that way. Huge peak. Again, happy memories, this place. Happy memories. Just love it. There's Derry Lodge. Up there again. Which marks 5 kilometres to get back to the car. Just under it, I think. I think the one thing I love about mountains as well in this area is like literally just like over there, like over the hills and the mountains over there, Abbey Moor's over there, and it just, I don't know if it's just me that feels this way, but it baffles my mind how like we drive out to Braemar, like through Glenshee, get parked up, and then we can walk and be at a place which is like a stone throw away from Abbey Moor, which takes like from Kerry about just over 2 hours to get there, going a completely different road, different direction, and it just feels like miles and miles away compared to where we are just now. And I think just that whole that kind of perspective of, I don't know what the right word is, but it's just like understanding that everywhere feels so far apart when you're doing the mountains, but yeah, it's so close. Don't know how easy it was to catch that. The final hurdle of today proved to be the most dangerous one. I was so close to falling on my backside there, right at the very end. Literally, the car is right there. Oh my god, that would have been such a funny moment to capture. Would have been absolutely brilliant. But we've returned nice and safely. It's a busy old car park, this one actually. But let's get this logged. Finish. Stats for today: 22k, 732 metres, 6 hours just over it. It wasn't a cycle, it was a hike, believe me. So as far as it goes for Munro days, not bad at all. Elevation, pretty simple. The final summit of today, Carn Seed. It's nice to see you all the time after a long hike. So yeah, that was a pretty special day, and hopefully the recording comes out okay. But yeah, a great way to get back into it, and now it's time to go home and see my little boy. Oh, I can't wait to see him. Been away from him for far too long.